I've invested in rooting for a corporation I have no monetary interest in. I am disenfranchised. He writes, I have scheduled the canceling of DirecTV for the day before this NFL season.
Okay, this is where it gets good.
After having it my entire adult life and getting comped the football package a half dozen times.
So his adult life is like, what, 2 years?
Oh. I'm just going to read it all and then go back.
Okay.
Here's a shock. I'm shuttering the fantasy football league that I've commissioned for a decade. Really? You've been in fantasy football? I never would have thought that.
For a decade.
I'm shuttering the fantasy football league that I've commissioned for a decade. I'm opting out of 2 Vegas leagues that I won thousands on last year.
Good for him.
He writes, I'm out. Now I no longer have to hate anything. The NFL or Goodell or the money-grubbing owners or the media. I no longer have to hate the constant rule changes put in place to keep up with smart teams. I hope this is Roger Goodell's legacy. He's freed an obsessive fan, meaning him, me.
Yeah, him, the writer, yeah.
From a trap. Maybe if someone like Adam Silver helms the NFL at some point, I'll return. But as of right now, I'm out. And then he writes in parentheses, I hope, ? So even sort of saying like, I think, I hope.
He might come back.
Can I sum up this open letter, Murray, with one simple phrase or reaction?
Please do.
I know what you're going to say.
My favorite team won the Super Bowl, but all anyone wants to talk about is Pete Carroll screwed up. Not that we made a good play. The same fans are trying to reinforce false narratives. It's like arguing with climate deniers. I can't find someone who won't listen. Don't you know? They use 2 gauges. The ideal gas law. Why won't you listen to me about the ideal gas law? I've scheduled the canceling of DirecTV for the day before the NFL season. That'll show them. Good job right before the regular season starts, you tool bag. Oh, I'm shuttering the fantasy football league. I've been a commissioner of a fantasy football league for a decade. I'm not no more.
You're turning the color of the beet.
No more. I'm not doing fantasy football, even though I played in 4 leagues and I won 2 of them. God, you tool. Like, this is why. Do you want to know why people hate the Patriots? You. That's why people hate the Patriots. You no sense of humor. Take it too seriously. Tool bag.
He is a preachy dink.
Oh, you preachy putz. Like, this is the one that's broke the camel's back. This one. Yeah, I hate to break it to you, Jamie. Jamie Conway from Marion, Mass. This is far from the biggest scandal. This is far from the biggest outrage in the history of the league. Far from it. Not even close, Jamie. Not even close. The Redskins and the Cowboys a couple years ago. Yes. There was an uncapped year where you were allowed to go over. There was no cap. So Washington and Dallas said, fine, no cap. We'll push a bunch of money to the uncapped year. These owners went back a year later and fined those teams for going over a salary cap that didn't exist. Find them tens of millions of dollars in cap money. Next to that, this deflation thing is nothing. This is far from the biggest. You're just getting clued in to the money-grubbing owners because it's affected you. So finally it's affected you, and now you're taking your ball and going home. Like, this has just begun. A couple years ago, these owners who make $11 billion a year, $12 billion a year, that's the revenue figure, who in profit rake in hundreds of millions of dollars. These owners, a couple years ago, locked out their officials and brought in high school refs and AAA refs and low-level college refs for 3 or 4 weeks. Do you know why? Because they didn't like the retirement plan of the existing refs. The Ray Rice scandal? Bountygate? We could go on. This is nothing. You think you've gotten screwed? Try being some of these other groups. These owners locked out the officials because of their retirement plan. A group of, how many officials are there? 80? How many people are we talking about? But they subjected us to a month of high school refs because they didn't want to pay someone's pension. And now you're taking your ball and going home because of Deflategate and the media ragged on Pete Carroll for throwing? Oh, you child. Oh, and the sadly is there's Patriots fans everywhere stamping applauding this. Like,
I wonder what the comment section looks like.
oh my God.
It's called Halo.
I have no patience I have no use for that.
The pass is a great idea to throw the ball to get their touchdown against those guys, unless it doesn't happen.
You crybaby.
Enjoy your Sundays with your wife as she forces you to go to the mall or forces you to do chores you don't want to do from now on. Like, stop taking sports so seriously like there's some morality play.
Well, but, you know, where were you when they locked out the refs over their 401k? Where were you?
If it doesn't happen, it's because something really, really crazy happens. It comes out somebody does some freaky stuff.
My favorite team won the Super Bowl on one of the most exciting plays in NFL history, but that play has barely been viewed as a success of the Patriots and largely seen as a failure of Pete Carroll.
It's called Halo.
Because that's what it was.
Oh,
the
my
worst
God.
call in the history of sports.
Oh, my gosh. And the other thing is, who's that guy kidding? He'll be back.
Oh, please. The day before the season, I'm canceling. I'll show you. Good God. Just have no, as you can tell, no use for that. Final word is next.
Felger and Mez.
I've invested in rooting for a corporation.